Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I'm your most favorite manifestation coach under the sun. Reason why there's no such coaching program like my coaching program anywhere on the internet, and nobody, no coach on earth spends as much time with and on their clients like I do. True story. All the information for me is below. I recommend 2 to 3 months in coaching with me if you really want to achieve long-lasting change. This is on average what it takes my clients. Might take you longer, might just take you 2 months. I don't know your situation, you know your situation. If before booking my monthly coaching you want to get together with me for an hour session, that's available on my website, and you can conclude upon that session whether or not we're a right fit. But be prepared to book on a monthly basis. You don't have to book all the 3 months at once. You can go month to month. I also coach coaches. Okay, all the coaches in my coaching walked away with a lot of goodies and definitely transformed their coaching game on another level. Okay, I just know a lot from the over 8 years now that I've been coaching different people of different walks of life. And I didn't even have a website for the first 7 years. So there you go. And a year ago, I came to YouTube because I wanted to uplift people during COVID and all that stuff. And inevitably, people asked me to coach. I wasn't even going to coach on YouTube. Lastly, I want to mention I just included 2 new things on my website, a private webinar for one and a group webinar on YouTube. Okay, so this is going through some of my coaching teachings and some of the tools that I can explain to you. It is going to be a private live for the group, and for the one person, it's probably going to be over Zoom. This is the way I conduct my seminars when it's a group of 10. And so we spend for the one person, it's about 3 or 4 hours of my time going through my coaching. This basically is an introduction into my coaching. If you want to have that experience and then conclude that I'm your right kind of coach, but essentially nothing comes close to being in coaching with me. I think you understand that. It's a one-on-one rapport. You know, in a group, it's not that private, obviously. Even spending 3 or 4 hours with me, it doesn't anywhere near next to spending 2 to 3 months in coaching with me, going through all of your history, all the exercises I have, etc., and creating the new you. So you understand that. If you have any questions, please email me below. The best idea is always to pre-book with me, sign the coaching agreement, and send it back to me together with the confirmation of your payment. The subject of today is how to mentally control your SP. So I've already visited the subject in many different ways, but I've always felt like I didn't really hit it the way I wanted to hit it. And believe me when I tell you, I have like material out of the wazoo. The reason I record so frequently is because I literally get so inspired. I don't want to lose the thought, and I better start recording it. And once I record it, well, it's there, so I might as well post it. Okay, so inspiration, I have no fucking lack of inspiration. It just pours through me. And this is what I realized when I started coaching, why I was supposed to coach, even though it wasn't like my dream goal or anything, okay? It just came to me once I started researching for myself 15 years ago and getting on this journey of self-rediscovery, that I just do it naturally. And so I think I have it now, and I'm going to verbalize it, the idea that is present with me right here, right now, in the best way possible. And so number one, obviously, if you're hiring a coach, this coach has to have experienced this. And I have experienced it in many different ways, okay? In the past, like maybe 15 years ago, okay, relationships were the biggest kind of situation for me that I had to do a lot of work on. But I did. And so money was never a problem, work was never a problem, this, that, and the other, manifesting different things. But I really had to work on relationships. And I really, really understood once and for all that in order to have a magnificent relationship in your life, you have to be selfish. And I said this in the last audio, and I think a couple of people lost their motherfucking mind because I saw a couple of thumb downs. Good. It's good that I triggered you. I love it. And like in the past, I would get kind of like, why? But now I know, because not a lot of people actually entertain this idea. All right. A lot of you, most of you, I should say, that come into my coaching are people pleasers. A lot of people are. For whatever reason, mama drama panorama, okay, you were told you're not lovable, you're not good enough, not pretty enough, not ba 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 enough, and you bought into this bullshit. Okay. In parenthesis here, you don't have to be a fucking supermodel. You don't have to be the most handsome dude in the world to be the most adorable darling that has ever lived. Okay. In your mind, you have to be the number one motherfucking superstar. No matter what you look like, no matter how old you are, no matter whatever the fuck is going on right now with you, even if you're between jobs, even if you don't have like $2 in your account right now, okay? You are a motherfucking superstar because you have the potential, and the potential is in your mind. Sorry, my voice just went in the toilet there. Okay. So how do you become more selfish? And selfish has a negative connotation, right? Traditionally speaking. But actually, selfish is asking somebody else to continuously give to a relationship, continuously sacrifice their needs, continuously be a people pleaser, continuously make them feel less than. And for you, it's kind of like completely abominable, okay, to continue playing into this role because you're sacrificing yourself for nobody to tell you thank you, because nobody fucking will. Become more selfish. Become more about yourself. What do you need to be happy? What do you need to succeed? What pleases you today? Every morning I get up, it's like, what will make my day today? This is healthy dose of self-love. This is how I interpret the word selfish. It's not about fucking people over. It's not about, neglecting other people's needs in the relationships that you are, but it starts with you. If you don't take care of you, nobody fucking will. But nobody. Why? Because they're not mind readers, first of all. They don't know what you need. If you're acting this way, they'll accept you for this kind of version. If you start acting differently, the whole world gets the message. And I already discussed this. It's as if there's an invisible internet. It's not as if there is an invisible internet. If you got up this morning and you started saying, listen up, everybody, in my world, the entire universe, as it were, this is the new me. All right. I care about myself. I care about my feelings. I care about, now this doesn't mean you're ultra sensitive, okay? Because that's the other kind of like on the other spectrum. No, you just honor your feelings, okay? Don't be like some of the people that dropped out of my coaching who like I couldn't even talk to. Like I said something and they just like totally inadequate reaction, okay? You need to, parenthesis here, you need to be able to take feedback in my coaching, because most of the time, 99% of the time, not for nothing, I've done this long enough, I'm right. So if I'm telling you something, you need to take it with a grain of truth or with a grain of salt or whatever. It's all truth, but with a grain of salt, and understand I'm on your side. This is why I'm trying to break you out of your dysfunction. Okay. Honoring your feelings, honoring what you want, honoring what it is you really would like to do. This is so important. Do you have forever on this planet? No, you fucking don't. You don't. And I know, we can all manifest looking young forever and probably live over 100 and all this fucking jazz. But you know what? I'm impatient with my manifestations. In the most healthy way. I want my shit right now. You don't have forever. Okay, I'd rather enjoy my shit right here, right now. And so honor the feelings and stop in engaging in this fucking bullshit. Why? And this leads into the subject of today very beautifully. You're in no position to control anybody mentally. And by control, I mean it. When you really get to know my channel, if you're new, you really need to watch all of my videos before you start going apeshit on me. You need to understand that you control the universe already. And so you control everybody in it already. Okay, how do you do it? With your thoughts, with your vibration, with your energy, most importantly. You give out the energy of being a people pleaser, a less than, a victim, this and that. This is why the drama, trauma, panorama in your world right now. If you turn that shit around, you will have completely different results. The end. And so in order to be able to control anybody in your world, you have to get a hold of yourself. A lot of people in my coaching that come into me, they're kind of chaotic in their thinking, not for nothing. Too many distractions, too many triggers, too many whatever the fuck is going on. They're not able to manifest because there's so many distractions. It seems like the world is against them. It seems like somebody else, excuse me, on the outside is doing something against them. It doesn't want them to have that. No such thing exists. But no such thing exists. It's you. I'll give you this example, okay? Because I think it really is. When I saw that the other day, I was like, he gets it. Warren Buffett had this explanation of the stock market and how he does business and why he's so successful. And he said, if I pay attention to the stock market, it's like paying attention to an alcoholic schizophrenic. One day he's happy, one day he's miserable, one day he's drunk, one day he's depressed, one day he's up, one day he's down. Okay, this would drive me crazy. What I am paying attention to is the companies. What is the value of the company? And I do certain things to I'm paraphrasing again. I do certain things at the certain moments that benefit me. In other words, I'm in control and I take advantage of the situation when I want to manifest whatever I want to manifest. I don't pay attention to the 3D. This is my interpretation of the statement in the manifestation world. I don't pay attention to the 3D. I don't pay attention to the distractions. I know what I'm coming in here with. I know what I need to produce. And when the position is correct, when the situation that I'm working on is aligned, I hit the target and I win every single time. Now, in terms of SP, what that means is that you yourself to be calm and zeroed in on your target. If you have resentment towards your SP, this is not going to work. If you're still angry with them, if you're still concerned about the third party, if you're still kind of like crying, and all of this shit needs to go. This is a lot of what I work on in my coaching. If it still produces tears for you, the situation, you're not there yet. You're not in control. You cannot control anybody this way, much less your reality. You just can't. You need to be in the position where you are at peace completely, whether with them or without them, whether with that money or without it, whether with that promotion or without it. You need to be completely zeroed in, yes, like a Central Park oak tree, completely stable in your vibration, in your energy. And that energy comes from the understanding, quite frankly, that not a lot of people have, but always striving towards. And this is why I'm so against people who consistently and deliberately misinform people with fucking affirmations and these stupid techniques that are so superficial, okay? You have no idea the kind of power you can have without these motherfucking affirmations and techniques, just by knowing who you are and having your energy aligned with everything that you want. No affirmation on earth will give it to you. If you're coming from that power and then you sit down and write something down like an affirmation or a script, holy shit, bananas. You will experience that in such a short period of time that it will blow your fucking mind. This is true story. I know this from experience. I know this from my clients' experiences. Okay. Now, again, parenthesis here. If you really, really want something and you haven't done the work, yeah, sure, you can manifest something temporarily, but it won't last. And this is true story. So wouldn't you rather make it a permanent situation in your world? And so you have to start with you. You have to zero in on this energy where you're completely stable and zeroed in on your target. Then and only then, you're in a position to tell your SP mentally, listen, SP, and this is after you cleared your anger and resentment. It doesn't exist that you're going to be able to make a change if you're polluted with these distractions. Again, those are just distractions from having you manifest something easily and on purpose and with precision. Listen, I have never recorded a better audio than this. I swear to God, maybe I have, but on this subject, okay, on this topic. Then and only then can you sit down or whatever the fuck you're doing, walking in the street or driving and this and that, and you can think something and say to them mentally, Listen up, dear SP, my darling love. This is what's going to happen. You're going to come back like this and like that. You're going to be completely agreeable to me. You're going to have only eyes for me. Okay, if they had a third party and this and that, drama, trauma, panorama, you are going to be loyal and faithful to me till your dying motherfucking breath. You're going to, like, I'm going to be your number one counselor in life. You're going to dote on me and lick gem off my toes. Excuse me. And you're going to only listen to what I want you to do. Okay, there are no more arguments. There just maybe discussions. We don't argue. We don't do it this the old way. We're doing it this way. This is what you're thinking right now. You're desperate to talk to me. Okay, for those of you in no contact, you're desperate to become this person, and you are working on yourself, especially if you haven't seen them and this and that. This is in interpretation of reality. There's no such reality that you cannot interpret, meaning there is a reality like that where they have been working on themselves in the separation, and they've come to these conclusions that you're the only one. It's 100% true. Understand, again, speaking from experience. I don't like to put my personal life out there on the internet because I know how, some people are. But the idea is I know what I'm talking about. It works just like that. So anything you write down, anything you mentally instruct this person, it will literally be replicated. There's no other way for me to say it. The idea though is, again, cannot stress this enough, and I'm going to repeat this because it's so important. You need to be at peace with how things were in the past. You need to understand that, yes, forgiveness is important, not condoning, but forgiveness is important and letting go of those emotions. And, okay, you really, really need to not feel triggered by the past. It needs to be all okay. And then and only then this person will be triggered, in quotations, will be kind of feeling remorseful about their their behavior towards the relationship and all that stuff. It doesn't exist that you don't forgive this person and they come and apologize. This is not how the energy works. And if you come into my coaching, I will explain to you how to speed these things up with the energy work, etc. But once you let it go, all of this junk that this person did to you goes back to them to deal with. And they cannot help but to come and apologize. They cannot help but to feel remorseful because you're not taking on people's shit anymore. I have another audio on my channel. It's like, give people back their bullshit. This is what it really means. Giving people back their bullshit. Don't drag it along with you anymore. And also it has to do with giving people back their beliefs. Those beliefs that you picked up from Mama Drama Panorama doesn't belong with you. It belongs with somebody else. Start reprogramming your mind based on your likes and dislikes, not somebody fucking else's. And if day in and day out, you continuously feed the quantum field, okay, this narrative, this new narrative, they're desperate to reach out to me. They've changed. I don't care what kind of asshole they were. They've changed. This is who they are right now. They want to cater to my needs. They're all about me, and nothing in the world will stop them. Okay? They're crying at night, reminiscing and regretting all of the things that they've done. Anything that they've done by you, they will make it up to me they will make it up to me for the rest of their life. This is exactly what will happen. And as much as you buy into it, at some point it will click in with you that it is literally what is happening, even if you don't see anything, especially when you don't see anything, which is sometimes a very good thing, because if you're in separation with them, you're not constantly comparing notes with what you see. It could be distracting if you're in their vicinity, telling this story and then seeing something in opposition. So if you're in no contact and you don't see them for a while, it's actually to your benefit. And again, at some point it will click in with you that I am there. I'm fully invested in this reality. I know exactly what's happening. You're not freaking out anymore. Far away from freaking out. You know exactly what you're conducting. Okay, you know exactly what's about to happen. And this can be with anything. Doesn't just have to be with your SP. It could be with anybody. Like, doesn't have to be romantic. Doesn't have to be just about relationships. It could be with money. It could be with a promotion. It could be with something that you've been waiting for a long, long time. And you can manifest this like overnight if you're committed to this situation. When I say overnight, once you have clicked into your mind that this is exactly what's happening, and I'm fully on board with that parallel reality where that is exactly what's happening. And I cannot describe the feeling. I don't think it's possible in words, but you just know that this is what this person is thinking. There's no other alternative. You've convinced yourself, which is all you have to do. And yes, delusion is necessary for manifestation. It's all delusion anyway, so choose your delusion wisely. Okay, buying into fears and insecurities is also delusion. Okay, why don't you buy into the other side, faith and knowing, all right, in what you're describing in your mind and what you are creating in your mind. It's all coming from your mind anyway, so you just have a choice to be in fear or to be in love, to be insecure or to actually know what the fuck you're creating. It's that easy of a choice. It's not easy to do it every day if you've been accustomed to some kind of other situation, but the choice really is easy. And when you're like this in a relaxed fashion and you know exactly what's about to happen, when you really don't care so much anymore, when you're not stressed about it, that is, when you're not worried about it, when you're not checking your phone 5 million times a day, when you're not insecure about it or in fear, it just comes like that. It just comes like that. Your SP shows up at the door, a whole new different version. You receive that apology text, you receive that text, you receive that email, you receive that money, you receive whatever the fuck you want. It just works like that. All you needed to do is relax a second and really understand who you really are. The entire universe is on your side. Just remember that, if nothing else. And it wants you to be more selfish. It wants you to be all about your needs so that you can be of service to other people. How can you be of service to other people if you have nothing to give to yourself? Don't worry, I'll wait. You have nothing to give to anybody else if you don't give to yourself first. And again, selfish in the most positive meaning of the word. If you feel like shit, you're not a good creator. Okay, I'll put it to you bluntly. So you need to take care of your needs first and foremost, and not care with or without this SP, with or without the money. You're still a motherfucking genius and a golden Buddha. Thank you very much for listening. All the information from me again is below. Until next time. Ciao, ciao.